Hey everyone, welcome back. Before we jump in, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It really helps the channel out. Now let's get into it because things are heating up fast on the Young and the Restless. So here's where we're at. Jack Abbott is still fighting for his life, hanging on in critical condition. Diane Jenkins is staring down a legal nightmare that seems to get worse by the day. And in the middle of all that chaos, Jill Abbott is dealing with something a little more personal. Something that's been eating at her for years. She's not ready to leave Genoa City. Not yet. Because as much as she's worried sick about Jack, there's another piece of unfinished business weighing on her. And that's her relationship with her son, Billy. Honestly, too much history sits between them. Too many years of hurt and distance. And Jill just can't bring herself to walk away while things are still this broken. She wants peace with Billy. She wants to know they're actually moving forward before she goes anywhere. But that conversation doesn't go smoothly. Billy walks away, frustrated, leaving things unresolved. That's when Sally Spectra steps in. She tries to smooth things over between mother and son because she gets it. She knows how much family actually means to Billy, even on the days he won't admit it out loud. Sally encourages Jill not to give up hope. There's still time, she says. Still a chance to fix what's broken before Jill has to leave town. Meanwhile, across town things are getting a lot more intense on the legal side. Michael Baldwin is going head-to-head with District Attorney Christine Williams-Romolotti, and honestly he can't believe what he's hearing. Christine doesn't seem willing to even consider Patty Williams as a suspect in Jack's stabbing, and to Michael that's baffling. Patty has a long documented history of mental illness, violence, and an unhealthy obsession with Jack. To him the answer feels obvious. But Christine isn't budging. She insists Patty was properly evaluated and legally released from the psychiatric hospital, and that Patty's account of what happened actually lines up with the investigation. Which, in her mind, points the finger straight at Diane. Michael, though, he's not having it. He pushes back hard, arguing that Patty's story is full of holes and contradictions that just don't add up. To rely on her word, while completely ignoring her troubled past, feels reckless to him. Like a mistake that could put an innocent woman behind bars. And it doesn't stop there. Christine is also leaning heavily on Dr. Markham's professional opinion, trusting his assessment that Diane suffered some kind of emotional breakdown. To her, that supports the prosecution's whole theory. But Michael drops a bombshell. He tells Christine flat out that Dr. Markham isn't exactly a reliable witness. In fact, he believes Markham held Diane against her will and manipulated the situation from the start. As far as Michael's concerned, the doctor might be just as dangerous as Patty herself. That accusation catches Christine completely off guard. Still, she holds her ground, refusing to back down. So Michael brings it back to basics, reminding her that Diane is innocent until proven guilty. It's the prosecution's job to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, he says, not Diane's job to prove she didn't do it. But Christine stays confident. She believes the evidence she's got is more than enough to move forward. Right when things reach a boiling point, Lauren Fenmore walks in. Christine takes that as her cue to leave, and suddenly Michael and Lauren are left alone to talk through everything that's happening. Lauren's actually on her way to meet Jill, but before she goes she needs an update. How bad is it really? And Michael doesn't sugarcoat it. It's bad. Getting worse, in fact, with every new development seeming to tighten the case against Diane. Lauren can hardly believe Christine is taking Patty's story at face value without asking harder questions. And then there's Jack. If he stays unconscious, he can't tell anyone what actually happened that night. And there's a real, terrifying possibility he might never wake up at all. Without his testimony, Lauren's afraid Diane could end up convicted for something she didn't do. But even with all that stacked against them, Lauren refuses to lose hope. She believes in Michael. Believes he'll dig deep enough to find the truth, expose the cracks in this investigation and clear Diane's name before it's too late.